Welcome back to Indian Trace. I'm always trying to stir things up and to mix things up and keep things different on here. In case you tune in and want to see some North American Indian artifacts, these pieces, and you can see the lineup, my sweater's helping me out here. On the bottom, there's a lineup of tips. This last 3 weeks has blown my mind. 3 weeks after Matthew, maybe a little bit before Matthew, has blown my mind. And so these are my top shelf, top quality points that I've set aside. And these, they all are. I found a lot more, but and then the top, I have some bases that I'm going to reveal. And like I said, my sweater's helping me, and I just want to show you before I have moving day and put them into storage, because then they won't be seen again. I'm going to move forward, and hopefully, you find more, and agriculture keeps moving along. These I couldn't even fit under the cover, so I'm going to start with these here on Indian Trace. Of course, a nice drill. You can't complain about that. Just some basic, great North American Indian artifacts. Look at these. Great stuff. So as I go along, I'll just chat a little bit about it, because what it does, there's some guys out there, and I know people from here to California, and some people literally cannot or do not have the place they can find great Indian artifacts. So as we go through these, I just want to show you what I found about 5 times this much in 3 weeks. And some of you out there that collect know what I'm talking about. You know well. You do. You find the broken pieces, and I don't really collect work pieces of flint. I'll collect a piece that's specifically and clearly an artifact. And then I'll move on from there. I'll leave a lot of pieces of work stone out in the field, and just out of honor, just sort of a thing I like to do. But at the same time, there's a lot that I'm happy about going out and collecting, because I know it's gonna have a different home. And many of these, pretty much many of them, even this one I'm touching right now, are gonna find a different home, and that's fine with me, because what an honor for me to be able to get to go out there and have sites that are North American Indian, ancient Indian sites, where I can find stuff that I know is going to make a great gift, or somebody really might just want to buy it or what have you, and that's fine. And we can work together in this to honor these guys and bring a great recognition to them. Look at this. This was on film. Great Indian artifacts here. I was just so blessed in the last 3-4 weeks. And they're going to just keep coming, one after another, to where my mind was messed up. Because I've gone and looked hard this last couple weeks and found pretty much nothing. Very little. And so it's so humbling to have times of plenty. You're looking at these, and then you're literally having times where it's just famine. And some of you collectors understand that. But look at these. They just keep rolling. Just incredible pieces. And like I said, my time frame is definitely since a little bit, maybe 2 days before Matthew came in. So about 3 weeks here. This last week doesn't count for any of these, because I didn't find any of these this last week. But just really happy to have found them. And before they take a permanent place in my display, and I sort of find, look at this LaCroix. I find a good place to store them and display them. I just wanted to give everybody a look at them out there together, just to give you an aspect of how the discovery of these is not something I take for granted. It blows my mind. That is the bottom line. Crazy, right? See if I can get a perspective here. That's fun, isn't it? Look at that. Look at that. So, what do we got looking at here? On the bottom, if I don't fall over, we've got tips. And I mean to tell you, more points found, more artifacts. And so for me, I try to condition my mind to realize this is not normal. This does not happen all the time here where I live, everybody. It's just, sometimes you just get blessed. Let's take a look at some of these. And you have to roll with it. And I have learned I have to, at least me, may not be a lot of you guys that find so much out there. I don't know about Richard or Flint's Ball, but I have to adjust my mind. And I have to actually work hard to figure out a way to appreciate, categorize, and share the wealth, you know. It's not always easy, to be honest with you, but it's awesome. It's a good challenge. Conditions your character. Look at that. Unbelievable points down here. A little bit larger points on the bottom with this tip sticking out. A lot of these did find film. And like I said, 2 weeks of blessing. Just a mind blower. That's a big piece. People might call it a little crude, little rude, but I guarantee it did what it needed to. Did what it needed to. I thought by just lining them up like this and showing you the reveal, everything from the top row here to the bottom row, and giving you the perspective of 2 weeks might help you understand the challenge in my mind. It's not a challenge to find. I mean, I go out there and work hard and what have you, but the challenge more I have found is to figure out how to remain thankful. I've learned in life that when you receive an abundance and you have a lot of something, you naturally drift to a place where you become less thankful, and I have to work at it. This is incredible. If I found one of these 4 or 5 years ago, it would have set me up for a month and just been like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But now, when I've gotten better and understood my areas more, crazy things happen. I mean, just look at what's happening in 3 weeks here. When I start to understand the land a little bit better. And I don't know everything that I should. I haven't been collecting a whole long time. But you can see one after another of great success. Some of these, you see them out in the field, and I have them live, the finds. You remember the serrated one from Mecca. Just unbelievable stuff. Point here from the archaic. Great notch point. So, I mean, that's what I figured I would do. Find a way to document and to share, to give you a perspective of what kind of challenge somebody might have like me that finds so much great stuff. And then I say to myself, it's not possible. I'm going to just keep all this stuff. I will keep some of it. A lot of the stuff you're looking at, I mean, I found 5 times this much, and I have it in different places. I've already sent out a couple bags of C4 artifacts and good, specific, incredible artifacts that just weren't whole. They were broken. And these I deliberate and do share some. Just depends how they move me, how they touch your heart, you know. So what a lineup. And I wanted to just take extra time and do a video where I could just show you the lineup and you get a really good idea of the artifacts in eastern North Carolina here. Coastal Piedmont area. of what I would call an ultra productive 3 weeks. So that just about does it now when you see it from a perspective. I can't even get it all there. I can't even get it all on film, I don't think. From way up here. There we go. That's a little crazy, isn't it? And so I'm dealing with it, but I'm really thankful. And appreciate you tuning in to Indian Trace. I hope I gave you a good look at those things. And if I flew in to a couple favorites, it's hard to pick. Maybe those two. Maybe those two. Mercy. Maybe those two. All in all, really appreciate you tuning in to Indian Trace. I suppose my biggest hope out there is that you find some hot spots and find some good artifacts out there, and just make a go of it. Save it, collect it, share it. Appreciate you tuning in. Be well out there.